focused, and you can easily predict his next move. And here it comes.
She's dodging, but she's doing it before he can even make his move. It's like she knows what he's going to do.
The generator's overloading! It's not gonna hold! She's tearing the shield apart!
This is impossible. She should be out cold. Unless she's not a Rena Sapien.
Charging complete! Backup 2, irradiating!
People say that first impressions last. The idea held by the beholder that their first glimpse of a thing or person is somehow representative of the entirety and truth of that thing or person. You could point out that this is an opinion verging on lunacy and inspired by people's belief that they can somehow truly understand the real essence of anything the very second they view it. All it amounts to is a mental shorthand people depend on to assign roles and values to others and other things, and fill in the gaps of what they don't know. Kinda like all those optical illusions you see floating around the internet. But we're not here to talk philosophy. We're here for some anime. Kurau Phantom Memory is on my list of anime with the best 10 opening minutes. Why? Because he made a damn good first impression. Everything about the first half of the first episode is just so well done. From the relationship between Kurau and her father, that he works too much and excludes her from his work, but that she adores him anyway, to our glimpse of future tech, showing us that this is not our time and therefore not our world, to the haunting sequence when Kurau gets hit by the Renax energy, her father's reaction to it, and then her reappearance, and the unspoken truth that she's no longer the same little girl that entered the lab. This moment is also great foreshadowing, because the Renax target Kurau directly, indicating that what is frequently said by other Rena Sapiens, that Kurau called them to this world, is in fact true. I don't want to give the impression that Phantom Memory peaks in the opening and then peters out, because there are other standout emotional moments, such as Christmas finally gaining her powers and finding Kurau in the rain, Yvonne and Jessica, and the horribly tragic but memorable scene where the twins kill all the people watching the Christmas light show. So Kurau Phantom Memory is set in the 22nd century, when humans have achieved sustainable space travel, and so going to space is no more difficult than going to the beach. There are flying cars, an international police force that is of course corrupt, and a base on the moon, which I assume people were allowed to build because the aliens finally packed up all their shit and left. Naturally, humankind needs a power source for all their fancy new toys. That's where the Renax come in, a so-called revolutionary potential source of infinite energy. The problem is that the Renax aren't like dead dinosaur Jews. They're actually living beings from another world. When Renax enter the human world, they can also enter people, and so create a combination of human and Renax known as Rena Sapien. Our heroine, Kurau, is one of these. I don't remember if it's ever explicitly said in the series, but if I'm not mistaken, Kurau is the very first Rena Sapien ever. She's also one of the most powerful. Kurau must navigate a world where in the shadows lurk the changes and disasters caused by the entrance of the Renax, and the dangers of other Rena Sapiens who all seem to be batshit crazy at best. She has to escape the clutches of the GPO, that corrupt global police, and save the worlds of both humans and Renax from the calamity that she supposedly started. And all of this while being lovey-dovey with her technical clone younger version named Christmas, who is herself a Rena Sapien and Kurau's pair, because Renax always come in pairs, a fact the show will drill into you with devastating insistence. In terms of personality, Kurau is an interesting one. She is undoubtedly an adult, and she at points displays the expected maturity. Yet she's obviously still very young, and so the kid shines through at times. This creates the situation where Christmas, her twin and maid I guess, sometimes feels older and more mature than she does. While Kurau is definitely not as emotional and compassionate as Christmas, she's far from being a bad person. Kurau has a prickly kind of kindness and street smarts informed by her years of hiding and working as an agent, which is future speak for a bounty hunting, private investigating, handy woman. She is also quicker to anger and more temperamental than Christmas. In terms of combat ability, Kurau's ability is measured on two fronts: what she can do as a human and what she can do as a Rena Sapien. As mentioned, Kurau is an agent and part of her job means hunting down bad guys. This means she has to be able to hold her own in a fight. As a Rena Sapien, she's well developed and has near perfect control over her powers as long as she isn't too weakened or too angry. What this means is that Kurau can not only kick ass in hand-to-hand combat, but she can straight up evaporate out of existence anyone who pisses her off. You'll notice that I often compare Kurau to Christmas. This is because they are essentially two entities that acted as one entity that has split into two entities that act as one entity that has been split into two. Yeah, it's complicated. The exact nature of their relationship is kind of ambiguous, and so I'm not really sure if they're twins or mates or twins who are mates. Whatever they are though, the connection between the two of them is one of the central pillars of the show, how they are opposites in so many ways, yet they still belong together. Kurau Phantom Memory is a completed series with 26 episodes, which means that that's all there is. There isn't any more. Yet, in this relatively short run, it managed to give us an anime girl that pairs the jadedness of an adult with the hopefulness of a child, and who is determined, proud, and tough. So let's spread across this vast world the paired awesomeness of Kurau and their experiences so that she is an anime girl who is never again forgotten.